Hello there, my friend, and welcome to Disney Travel Secrets. We are your hosts and travel agents, Rob Kerri Stuart. We are here in the CMV studio in Disney's backyard, and that is Windermere, Florida. This is episode number 453, original air date, October 20th, 2025.
Okay, so you were using Windermere this week instead of Orlando. Interesting.
It's just one of those things. I trade out every now and then. Everybody knows Orlando, but Orlando covers a huge area, and a lot of the areas in Orlando are 30, maybe even 45 minutes away from Disney. So if someone looks up Windermere, they'll see we are right next door.
Yeah, and this is one of our favorite times of the year. It's mid-October, and the temperatures in the morning are very nice, although the humidity is still at 90%.
I know, that was yesterday. Well, it started at 90 this morning. Yeah. But I am also wearing my glow-in-the-dark Pluto shirt that we got for our Halloween on the High Seas cruise.
I know, we should have coordinated. I should have put on my Halloween. Oh, well.
Okay.
Next show
you'll wear one, and I won't. Okay, that's fine. A lot of the holiday decorations in our community have been up. It's really fun to see how creative people are getting and trying to guess how much they spent on them. Spoiler alert, some people just went crazy.
Yeah, and after doing over 450 shows, sometimes it takes a little effort to find the next topic. So we did a little research and looked at what people are looking for those coming down to Disney. Mm-hmm. And we found one of the hottest trending topics right now is how Disney, for the first time ever, has broken the $200 per ticket per day price barrier.
A lot of pers in there. Per ticket, per price, per day, per person. So on today's show, we're going to show you why that doesn't affect any of you at all, for the most part. We're also going to give you some budgeting ideas. So the price per ticket per day never affects you.
Hello, my friends. This is former Disney Imagineer Hugh Darley, and you're listening to Disney Travel Secrets with my friends Rob and Kerri Stuart. As you can imagine, I have plenty of Disney secrets myself, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get this show on the road. Take it away, guys.
If you're listening to this on the air date, then happy Monday. And we're excited because this Wednesday, the 22nd of October, we're doing a private VIP tour with our friend. You just heard his voice, and that is former Imagineer Hugh Darley.
And in the very near future, you're in for a treat because you're going to be hearing a lot more from Hugh. Because we're going to bring him into the studio.
Right here where we're sitting right now.
Yes, and he's going to tell us some of the stories from his career at Disney.
I remember he came down, we did a 20-person mastermind for our agency, and he was there most of the day, and he was doing some training, and then afterwards a bunch of us went out to Chili's for kind of a little after celebration, and we sat farther away from him on purpose so our agents could be right around him. Very few people that I've ever met can draw people in with stories like you. Speaking of, this is also a very quick public service announcement. We still have space available for the Adventures by Disney Southern California and Disneyland event next September during the Oogie Boogie Bash with said Imagineer, former Imagineer, I should say, Hugh Darley. And I know we haven't mentioned it every week, so maybe you think that we were sold out. We definitely are not.
Yeah. So if you are listening or watching the show during the week that it airs, we definitely have space available. If you're catching this maybe sometime in 2026, probably not. So head over to creatingmagicvacations.com, fill out the plan a vacation form, and for destination, just put ABD with Hugh.
And when you do that, the odds are I will be calling you that very same day to tell you even more about this really awesome trip. Trust me when I say this. When it sells out, because it will, we will let you know. But right now, we still have plenty of space.
Yeah. So you kind of had a little mini preview with Hugh last week.
Yes. Again, yeah. So while my beautiful bride was on her 30th annual girls trip, I should have said 10th.
It's fine. It's fine.
She was with her college roommates. I had the chance to go to Epcot with Hugh.
Yeah. And I do have to admit, when you said, hey, I'm going to be going to walk the park with Hugh, I was a little bit jealous because walking through any Disney park with Hugh, much less Epcot, which he opened, I think would be something super, super special.
Again, I want to mention he's a former Imagineer, not a current Disney cast member, which means he doesn't just get to walk into the parks like he probably used to. He actually bought an annual pass just about a week ago or so, right before we went. And so that Friday was the first time he used it as we walked into the International Gateway entrance over at Epcot.
Yeah, so it was really, really nice of him to say that he's really getting this pass to go to the parks with you and create more content and be a bigger part.
And us.
Okay.
Yes, and us.
Well, I know, but he wants to have a bigger part with Creating Magic Vacations and Disney Travel Secrets, which means you.
I know. I can't wait to get him in the studio and start racking up some of these stories and sharing them with all of you. On that first day, he and I met over by Beach Club and walked into the back entrance of Epcot. It was pretty funny teaching him how to use his annual pass. He's like, so what do I do? And he had his card. And I'm like, it's the first time you're going to do this. Then they're going to scan your finger. It was hilarious. So we walked over the bridge into France. And as we started going into France, he's looking ahead. He's like, what is that line for?
Oh, I can guess. It was probably the France Epcot Food and Wine Festival. That one is always super, super crowded no matter the time of day.
You are correct. So then he looked over to where the boat docks, if you're using the boat transportation system to get around the World Showcase, and he just stopped cold. I'm like, what? He goes, and he just stared, and I'm like, what's he staring at? He said, that's the very first sign that I ever created and designed for Walt Disney World. And he looked at me and goes, it's still there. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that blew me away because you had sent me a picture of you in front of that. And I was like, oh, that's nice. The boys are out just having a good time. But then you explained what the picture was. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see that picture of Hugh in front of the sign. That was his first project.
Yeah. So after that, we walked over to the Germany Pavilion, had a beer, and went inside, not the restaurant itself. He just wanted to see the inside of the restaurant there, but we weren't going to have lunch. And then he pointed out this mural right outside by the registration desk. And he looks at me, and the person was standing there, the person checked people in. He's like, my friend, so-and-so, I can't remember the name, painted that mural. And of course, I just tell the girl that he was a former Imagineer that opened Epcot. She says, oh, do you want to come inside and just look around? I'm looking at him like, I do. He was just like a little kid. He's like, yes. Keep in mind, it wasn't closed. There were guests in there. It was in between shows, I think.
Yeah, this is over at the beer garden.
It is. Yeah. The beer garden. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course you went in.
Yes.
But that is one of the many reasons I'm looking forward to the VIP tour with him. And, we're going to be spending over 6 hours with Hugh in 3 of the parks this week, but also the Adventures by Disney.
I know.
That's going to be amazing.
And again, you're going to see more of that as we bring Hugh into the studio and we start, coordinating some of his stories. He's a super nice guy. Hugh and I talk probably, if not every day, almost every other day. He just calls up, hey, how you doing? It's funny. I posted a picture of a squirrel that I took with my new iPhone 17 Pro Max, put it in my stories. He's like, oh, that looks really cool. And he's just a really, really friendly guy. I think most of the Imagineers are like that. I think they're just very, very relatable because they just love not just telling stories, but telling stories about Disney.
Yeah, they love creating things. That's for sure.
So as we mentioned in the open, Disney finally broke the $200 barrier. I should probably put some kind of a voice effect on that for a one-day ticket to the parks. But you'll soon find out it really doesn't affect that many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Almost no one is going to buy a one-day ticket only. Maybe if you're here in Orlando and you're on business and you have that one day to go do something, but that's the exception. This is all about the psychology of pricing and the eyeballs it gets when Disney does anything.
That is very true. Like you said, and if you're here on business and oh my gosh, I only have one day to do the park, odds are you probably have an expense account.
Good point.
So here are the 4 prices, starting with a peak season ticket. We love that term. At Walt Disney World, it went from, wait for it, $199 to $209, which means we're going to start financing one-day tickets. But Disneyland, they went from I think $206 on a peak day ticket to $224.
Yeah. Now, parking at Disney World did go up. It went from $30 per car to $35. And then annual passes also are increasing, but the range kind of varies depending upon which tier you have. And things went up like $20 to $150
per year.
Per year. Yes.
So if you know anything about sales, which a lot of you do, going from $199 to just $200, it's really that it's a psychological barrier. And that's why you'll see very few things, and none come to mind at this time, that are priced exactly at $200. They would either be $199 or you've probably seen a lot of end at $7, like a $197.
Yeah, this is Disney really saying that we don't want you to buy a one-day ticket. What we really want is for you to buy a package where you'll stay at one of our resorts and get the package that includes the tickets.
If that's what they really wanted, make a one-day peak season ticket like $600 and just freak people out.
There you go.
And then they would take over the internet and the internet would die. Now, again, Disneyland is a completely different animal than Walt Disney World, not mentioning Animal Kingdom. So now, is paying an extra $5 for parking at the parks worth it? That's really up to you. As an annual pass holder, Parking is included for us, of course.
Yeah. And when does paying for parking make sense, though, at Disney World? Well, if you're not staying on Disney property and wherever you're staying doesn't have reliable bus service, or maybe you want to pack in a giant cooler that you fill it up with ice, lunch, snacks, drinks, and maybe you take some into the park, but then maybe you come back out and just have lunch in your car.
Like a tailgate.
Yeah.
a Disney World tailgate.
But still, both of those will save not just more than the $5 increase. It's going to save more than the entire $35 price by doing that.
As often as we're at the parks, believe us, there are a lot of people that we see that are paying for parking. It's a cash cow for Disney. Now, how do we know so many people are paying for parking? Because how long it takes to get through any of the little cashier booths at any of the 4 parks. But also keep in mind that if you're staying at one of their resorts, you don't pay for parking anywhere.
Yeah, but just about any other hotel in the area, you are going to be paying for parking at your hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So even the ones over at Flamingo Crossing on the west entrance, which years ago didn't have parking fees, they now are charging, it's on the lower end, but they're charging a parking fee there too.
It is. But any of the hotels at Disney, like the ones on like Hotel Row over by Disney Springs and not Disney owned, you're paying for parking. Then again, it's really like that all over the Orlando area, probably like most of your downtown areas, wherever you live. You're not parking free. So it's not just the hotels that are close to Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. It's pretty much everywhere in Orlando.
Yeah, pretty standard, which of course means you're going to be paying for parking if you're either going to SeaWorld or Universal as well.
Correct. I know we have an event we're going to in a couple weeks at Universal. We are getting an award for creating Magic Vacation. So a huge shout out and thank you to our amazing team of travel agents. We're not even staying on property. It's only, I think we clocked it between 12 and 15 minutes, depending on traffic. So we're just going to park. We'll be doing day parking. We'll be there for a day or two, but we're not going to stay overnight. We have to pay just if we're there staying at the hotel for a meeting. And you know how much I hate paying for parking anywhere.
I know. Okay, enough on the parking.
Got it.
It is what it is.
It is
But
what it is, I know.
Sometimes we will have a client, they'll ask us a question because they want to break down the ticket cost as part of their Disney World package. Well, the easy answer is we can't do that.
We cannot.
Disney packages everything together and they don't break down the resort versus the ticket costs on purpose.
Now, what we do see a lot of for one-day tickets, though, are the other 2 parks in Orlando. They're raising their prices, and imagine no one talks about it. Can you imagine?
Well, get this. Just yesterday, I was pricing out a one-day ticket to Universal, and this wasn't even for just Epic. Now, this was during the week between Christmas and New Year's.
So peak times,
so
I
very
get
peak.
it.
But a one-day ticket that is not a park hopper with tax is $190.64. For the park hopper, add $60 to that. So it's $249.21.
Okay, but you're saying that's for the 2 Universal parks.
Correct.
So this
That's
doesn't
not even
include
Epic.
Epic. Okay.
Correct.
So a base ticket for Disney is around the same price, right in line with that pricing. But everyone loves to complain about Disney.
So here's an idea. If you want to enjoy the Orlando theme parks and you're on a budget, instead of Universal, I would consider SeaWorld, where those tickets are less than $90 if you're going on any day, so like the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go during a weekday, you can get a ticket for as low as $75, including tax.
I remember back in the day, and this is over 15 years ago probably, we had annual passes to Busch Gardens in Tampa, and we included the SeaWorld pass, and we were coming over to SeaWorld a bunch of times. And one of the reasons is my friend Craig was the head animal trainer at the Shamu exhibit, or just whatever, that whole area. He was the head trainer there. We grew up in St. Louis. And so we go up there and I'm like, hey, Craig's working today. Let's go say hi. So,
yeah. It's, you know what? And a lot of people, they don't realize that SeaWorld, that park has a lot of thrill attractions.
They do. Yeah.
And it's not just about the animals. So don't take it off your list, especially if you're on a budget, but you want to hit multiple theme parks here in Orlando.
I know we need to hit SeaWorld soon. Because I know. So this is the first year.
I want to go during the holidays.
Why?
Because they have holiday stuff.
How do you know this? We haven't been for a while. No, I'm looking forward to it because this is the first year we have our Agent Palooza event in January. And this is the first time that for our closing event, we're not doing it at Disney. We're going to take all of our agents over to SeaWorld for a private event.
Yeah, that's going to be super fun.
So a huge thanks to our friend Jax over at SeaWorld that is helping us run that event. Bottom line is, if the budget for your vacation is going to stress you out, work with a travel agent that specializes in Disney and the surrounding parks so they can help you maximize your budget.
Yeah, we do this all the time. And sometimes it's just as simple as adjusting your dates a little bit, or maybe even planning meals that involve less eating out in the parks and instead packing in some food.
Absolutely.
It's very doable.
And one of our favorites is picking dining options where you can share the meal. The two of us are going to go to the beer garden in Germany and both get that buffet because it's just like throwing money at Disney. We just don't eat that much.
Yeah, but we will go to Tepanito
Okay,
and enjoy splitting. That actually sounds pretty good. We may have to do that soon.
Well, I thought we were going to Animal Kingdom today. Okay, we don't know what we're talking about.
Here's the thing though. Once you are in the Disney bubble, it is super easy to get caught up in the take my money mentality.
You said that in a different tone.
Here's the thing. Save yourself from that mistake and instead also budget for your souvenirs and those impulse buys.
Well, and get your kids and your family on board with the vacation budgeting. You can even make it a game like, if we can save this much, we can stay at a nicer resort.
Yeah. So one thing we know about Disney World is because of the size and all the attractions, the shows, the fireworks, the parades, it is definitely a multi-day vacation. So one-day ticket isn't anything you would do.
And some of the other parks we mentioned, you could do in one day. Our advice is one we shared on our other podcast, Travel Inspired. Go check that one out. Get your trip on the calendar for 2026.
Yeah, make it a priority. It's always sad to me when I hear about people who have so many vacation days left unused. You earned those, so grab your family, your friends, your calendar, and let's get a Disney trip or a cruise or maybe even an international trip on the books.
Okay, so let's ask our friends a question. What country has the most unused vacation and paid time off days?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ding, ding, ding. And the answer is the United States.
Yes, we are pathetic here. Don't let
People
that be
in Europe
you.
are like, wait a minute, you didn't take your vacation. It's something you own. You earned it. Don't let it go to waste. So until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.